It started with a vision. A clear, ambitious, bold vision. A vision of the new American university. To fuel our mission and future ambitions, we invited you to join us to elevate ASU to new heights. Together, we embarked upon this journey, fueling discovery, creativity, and innovation, ensuring student access and excellence.
One River gives its journey to the
enriching
next.
our communities, championing student success, elevating the academic enterprise, and driving Sun Devil competitiveness. To better our students,
And what's your ASU story?
our
Thank you
communities,
for all that you do.
and our
Together,
world.
our potential is limitless.
Welcome to our celebration of generosity, impact, and opportunity at ASU.
Welcome to our virtual celebration of the incredible journey of Campaign ASU 2020.
It has been a journey of accelerating innovation, fueling opportunity, and delivering hope, triumph, and more through your generosity.
Many of you made generous philanthropic investments in our ASU community, and we thank you for your confidence in our ability to deliver an impact.
Tonight, we are going to share with you the hope we have for the future because of you. Our community has truly come together, fueling ASU from within Arizona, across the country, and around the world.
For many of us, 2020 has been a memorable year that most of us would like to forget. However, despite all the roadblocks this year has thrown at us,
Like a global pandemic,
We'll say the bold vision of this campaign could not be stopped by any external forces because we had your support. You came through in a big way and stood behind us to move ASU forward.
you're probably wondering about the impact of the generous investments made.
while it would have been great to have the campaign include free pizza, the impact is undeniable.
Your contributions are truly unleashing the potential of ASU students, freeing students like us to make a difference on our campus, in our communities, and around the world.
I'm Dante McGilvery, a PhD candidate in Theater for Youth and Community at the Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts.
I'm Simone Bayfield. I'm working to earn my MBA in the W.P. Carey School of Business.
And I'm Victor Yang, an undergraduate theater major with a concentration in acting, also at the Herberger Institute.
ASU has definitely had an impact on our lives and is preparing us for the future.
Whether it has been through the personal connections we've made,
The freedom to explore the many opportunities ASU has to offer,
Or by allowing us to give back to this phenomenal institution through our own service.
join us tonight in the adventure of hearing from students, faculty, community members, and donors as we share with you the impact Campaign ASU 2020 has made
Through
through
your
your philanthropy.
As we often say, aging, if it's not your issue, it will be. The longer you live, the more likely you may develop a dementia or memory problem of some type. And so it's critically important for us to understand that. We have some of the best minds in the entire world here at ASU. The gift is an amazing complement as well as support for developing psychoeducational skill-building interventions for people living with Alzheimer's disease and related dementias and their family caregivers.
If you want to make big contributions, you really have to collaborate and work together. So the project that we're working on is a really exciting project between myself and 2 other labs, and our hypothesis is that it's the early stage things that are the more toxic species that are causing all the damage in the brain, to try and isolate these unique toxic components and then hopefully use cryo-electron microscopy to image those and understand how they're doing what they're doing and why they're so toxic and how maybe we can treat them in the future. The Seed Fund has really helped us because we've had this idea that has potentially groundbreaking implications, but we just need to get it kind of off the ground. And, can we use some of these tools for improved diagnostics? Can we use some of these tools to develop new therapeutics or even maybe develop a vaccine? That's kind of where we see this going.
My aging research involves the social isolation of older adults and their caregivers, cognitive decline, depression, changes in health, cardiovascular disease, falls, cancer, and even death are associated with social isolation. It's a very serious problem right now, especially with the COVID. My postdoc, partially funded by the Edson Gift, examines this. It's called the Family Caregiver Connections Project. Hopefully, I will be developing an intervention out of that.
To me, the quality of life is way more important than the quantity of life. I want to continue to study interventions, particularly behavioral interventions, and help people to age better in brain health and prevent the onset and delay the progression of dementia. So we know it takes about 10 years minimum for research evidence to translate into clinical practice. By that time, it's too late, right, for a lot of people. So what I'm hoping to do is translate the intervention we have developed to make it widely available to people.
What I want to do right now is bridge simulation and geriatrics and blend them together. So virtual reality, and I'm going to bring that for caregivers of people with dementia. So what they're going to do is they're going to experience firsthand what it is having Alzheimer's. So if you improve communications for caregiver care recipient, then you see that the relationship is better. Then you see that immediate friends and family members, they will have better relationship as well.
I'm just really incredibly grateful to the Edson family for what they've done. I am a person who is ever grateful for what family caregivers do in our world. They support these individuals at a level that so many people don't understand until they're in that role.
Thanks to your gift, I got an education that gave me all the foundations that I needed to create this gift for the community.
And for them to be so generous and to support scholarship and support development of other faculty or students is just unbelievable because we need that.
I'm very grateful. It validates the work I've done to date, and I don't think there's anything more powerful than that.
And so hopefully if in some small part we can help advance that to where one day people do understand, what causes these diseases. It's been great to finally get the resources to actually do it and try to make a difference for Alzheimer's research.
Yes, of course. We need to be able to prevent, treat, cure Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. No doubt about it. Until we need to be able to provide evidence-based programming that reduces the stress and distress for the people living with the disease as well as for their family caregivers. The take-home message is, until there's a cure, there's care.
Hi, my name's Sonia Villalba, and I am part of the Michaels Scholarship Program. I was born in Ecuador, and I moved to Simi Valley, California when I was 5. When I turned 11, my father passed away, which was a very hard struggle for my family and I. Going to school was a big deal for my family, especially attending a 4-year university, and we never really thought that we'd have the money to do that. And that all changed when I met Chris and Chuck Michaels. I would like you to meet them today. This is Chris and Chuck Michaels.
Hey Sonia, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great to see you.
You too. Do you guys mind if I ask you a few questions about the scholarship program?
No, we love talking about our scholarship program.
That'd be great.
Awesome. So what inspired you guys to start this program at Arizona State University?
Well, when Chuck and I got married, we sat down and decided what did we want to do from a philanthropic standpoint, and we both agreed we thought education was where we wanted to put all of our time and efforts into, and that's kind of how we started. We thought education's the great equalizer.
So why is it important for you guys to stay involved in the people that you guys give your scholarship to?
We've just found the more we stay in touch, the greater the likelihood of them graduating is. It sounds crazy, but it has an impact.
We've really tried to not only help financially, but do a lot of mentoring.
I think the mentorship is really what helps propel a lot of these students to the next level. I mean, a lot of them, again, are first in their families to go to college. Their parents really don't know how to help them through this maze and through higher education. We get the most out of that as well. I mean, it's been a really fulfilling experience for us. In fact, sometimes I think we get more out of it than the students do.
I think the coolest part of the whole staying in communication is that you guys tend to not keep it the same with every student. And especially for me, the way that I communicate with you guys is through music.
I love hearing music and listening to new music. It's great getting those texts from you about a new song, and obviously loved when I was in town and got to go to Dua Lipa, obviously an artist that I had not heard of before. It was cool to be in town and act like a college student for an evening.
I just want to say thank you guys for everything you've done for me, and I really hope that a lot of other people get to see how amazing of a family you guys are and what a big part of ASU you guys are. And I'll send you something that you would like to see, a picture of us.
Okay, cool.
Bye, Sonia.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've got a question for you. During this time of COVID, who responds to the needs of our first responders?
Well, Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust and the ASU Biodesign Institute have a long-standing relationship of partnering to address health problems in our community.
This partnership rapidly responded to keep our community safe in early 2020 when COVID first appeared in Arizona. This rapid response stamped them as the new breed of first responder.
To learn more about it, we'd like you to meet a leading researcher in cancer and personalized medicine and executive director of the Biodesign Institute at ASU, Dr. Josh LeBaire.
When the disease broke out in the early part of this year, it became apparent to us that we needed to develop some kind of testing to help support the ASU community, but also the overall Arizona community. So the most important thing from our perspective was to be able to test for the presence of virus. We needed to know who was infected and if they were infectious. We were very fortunate that the Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust stood up and helped us out in our early response to the COVID-19 outbreak. We were contacted by a number of first responder organizations as well as critical infrastructure people who run, for example, power companies. They have individuals that are critical to the power grid, but cannot socially distance. And they are crucial to keeping everything running in the state. So by offering them testing, these people could safely work in their environment and know that they weren't going to infect each other, both the first responders as well as these critical workers in the power grid and so on. We began using the nasopharyngeal swabs. It became apparent that probably in the state of Arizona at the time, there were no more than 1,000 swabs available anywhere. We had 100,000 people in the ASU community that needed to get tested. And there was a whole, community outside of ASU that might need testing. To do swabs at that scale was going to become very challenging. And so that's when we began, even in March, to start thinking about doing saliva testing, which we knew we could scale much faster. Our motivation has always been saving lives. And so wherever we could find an opportunity to get testing done was an opportunity to prevent the spread of the virus. And so we had logistics teams, people focused just on sample collection, people just focused on the database piece, people just focused on the lab piece, and all of them kind of running in parallel as fast as they can. We were running our first tests by the beginning of April. To date, we've done well over 250,000 tests for the community, and the rate at which we're growing suggests that we'll hit 500,000 much faster than it took us to get to the first 250,000. All of this was because of the seed that the Charitable Trust planted by getting us going quickly, by putting that equipment in place, by getting us the supplies we needed to run those tests. It got us up and running immediately, and that was crucial. It's what we're good at, right? Bringing people together from many different disciplines and moving them in the direction we need to go. That's what this whole institute, the Biodesign Institute, is designed to do, is to be able to translate discovery into impact. And if there was ever a biodesign moment, this was it. We knew it.
Ranked in the top 10 of military-friendly schools, ASU honors the sacrifices made by our student veterans and their families to serve our country and protect our freedom. The Pat Tillman Veterans Center is tangible evidence. I'd like to introduce you to retired Air Force Colonel Jeff Gimmerin, director of the Tillman Veterans Center.
Yeah, thanks, Simone. So the Pat Tillman Veterans Center is what I term the institution or the organization on the ASU campuses that promotes really the success culture for our military affiliated and student veteran population. When you look at it, it's a holistic approach, anywhere from them coming in as new recruits and admitted to the school, all the way through each semester that they pursue their academic activities, and then all the way to the end and beyond, really, with them graduating and then landing that career position that hopefully we can help steer them towards. We are excited that we have a new Pat Tillman Veterans Center office space, and it is located in the Sun Devil Stadium, actually on top of the East Stands. The other interesting aspect of that new facility is that it ties in with the university's Community 365 strategy and plans, that the Sun Devil Stadium will be used 365 days of the year, and it's open and accessible to the public and the student population as well across ASU.
Jeff, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you, Simone. I appreciate the opportunity.
Now over to Dante, who is speaking to one of those students now.
I am here with Luke Reynolds. Luke, can you tell us how the Pat Tillman Center has impacted you?
Yeah, hey Dante. So I was in the Navy for 6 years. I was a Navy corpsman. So when you're in the military, it's easy to make friends because wherever you're at, you're stationed with a bunch of guys who have a similar interests to you, similar age groups. And then starting school, it was a bit different. Just don't have the same life experiences, so it was hard to connect with a lot of people. And at the Veterans Center, you meet a lot of new people, a lot of other veterans who are in a similar position as you are.
How does it feel to know that there are people out there who care so much and appreciate you all so much that they give and support the Pat Tillman Center?
Can't really put into words how thankful we all are as veterans to know that, you know, they cared enough about us and we're thankful enough for what we did to donate their money to us to help us out becoming more successful after school and during school. And it's incredible.
Well, thank you, Luke, for taking time to share your perspective. And thank you also for all the work you have already done and that you continue to do.
Thanks, Dante. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope to see you around sometime.
And with that, I'm going to pass it off to you, Victor. Take it away.
Thank you, Dante. I'm here with Mr. Chris West. Now, Chris, why don't you tell us more about yourself and what you do?
I'm a retired investment banker, now living in Scottsdale, Arizona. And over the last 6 months, we have decided to start a scholarship fund for what they categorize as Chapter 35 children or spouses. And really what that is if your parents or your spouse has been killed in the line of duty or 100% disabled in the line of duty, you fall under a category of Chapter 35. What's so important about this group is they fall short of Veterans Administration help by 1 year. It just kind of fell in our lap that this is a great opportunity to pick up this last year for them. When you speak to them and then you can hear in their voice and see the relief you're bringing to them, it gives me great joy that I'm touching lives and not just writing checks.
Thank you so much. I know that as students, we all live lives that seem like it's a long, dark tunnel, and people like you make it seem like there's light at the end of it. Thank you for just giving these students the hope that they really need in their respective careers. So thank you, and it is a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you. Likewise, thank you, ASU and the Pat Tillman Center.
And now let's take this opportunity to hear from another champion, Dr. Radgu Santanem, and the scholarship he and his wife Alka built together.
I came to the US and then eventually I got to know more and more about what's going on here. I was shocked to see that less than about 30% of the population really has an undergraduate degree. That was surprising that in a rich country like the US, that we have so few that come to the university system. That, tells me there's something going on, right? That we have to make it easier for those that certainly come from the lower socioeconomic status and help them move along in this academic career pathways. Because I feel that with the higher education cost being what it is today, it's really important for us to open opportunities for students who otherwise wouldn't make it in the university, wouldn't be retained in the university system. And I've met some of the students who did get the scholarships. Their enthusiasm for life is infectious, and they're great kids. And they understand that it's not just about the classroom. It is the development of an individual, preparing them for life, and that's an important thing.
I've seen a lot of struggles in my life, and I just know I need to work hard to avoid being in that situation again. Because I've actually been homeless multiple times, lived in tents before and lived in cars, and just I know that I'm building a really stable future for myself, and that's what I've always wanted my whole life.
I really wanted to just enter the workforce. I graduated college debt-free, which was my number one goal going in, and it was very difficult at times to meet that goal. My roommates took out loans, everybody in my life took out loans, but I was very dedicated to not do that unless it really came down to that point. I was pretty much on my own, so I had to work. I had an internship, and all that money went towards my rent basically, and then the Centennium Scholarship basically got me right over my tuition threshold.
I was working full-time at my job, and then at full-time school, and then I was trying to do the audio thing, because I've always loved doing music. 5-6 hours of sleep a night, basically. And the Santam has helped me because it helped free up more space for me and be able to actually achieve everything that I want to achieve.
That's what I feel scholarships are. People look at them as money, but really it's opportunity. Now I have all this extra time to not work myself to the bone, so I just put more time into connecting with business professionals, padding my resume with better grades and internships and winning competitions and things like that so I could stand out in the field.
I'd say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and it's really helped more than they'll ever know trying to get all of this accomplished, and I'm just very thankful that they're willing to reach out and help.
It was really important to me because it's not just a handout, it's opportunity, and I feel like I seized that opportunity, and I'm glad that I did.
That success is theirs. It's not mine, it's theirs. The point is that the society gives you those chances, you have to grab it, right? I had a role in their success. It's just that there was someone else who was successful who helped me. So then when you see more faculty contributing, then encourages others to do it. And in fact, I know many of them, and they inspired me as well. We are in higher education, we are in the nonprofit sector. It's not like we have huge financial resources for us to make this a big one, but it's a really small amount. But even if it helps 1 or 2 students, it just gives us some satisfaction that we were able to contribute back in some way.
At ASU, our mission is to empower Sun Devils to achieve championship performance while graduating and preparing student athletes for life after intercollegiate athletics with the highest priority on integrity. Zylan Cheatham is one of those athletes. Known to most as a professional basketball player, this former Sun Devil made his NBA debut in 2019. But his pursuit of excellence doesn't stop on the court or with his self.
My community, to me, comes first. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them.
He's such a great example of what it means to create educational pathways, because Zylan comes from South Phoenix, and he's been really clear that he wants to do work that advances the neighborhood he came from in South Phoenix.
It all goes back to my background, the area I came up in, the situations I was put in growing up, being just surrounded by poverty and gang violence and all those type of things. So me and my best friend, Justin Owens, we always told each other that if we were ever to make any type of money or if we were ever to experience any type of success, we were going to put it right back into the community.
And so the folks in the athletic department who knew of Zylan's aspirations turned him on to Watts College and said, these people are doing what you want to do. And so it was a natural fit for us to work with Zylan.
I knew I wanted to change things for the next generation of kids coming up. I wanted to get into the classrooms and get into the school system, see how I can impact and donate, or if it's time, and anything I can do to help.
The Watts College of Public Service and Community Solutions really exemplifies what ASU is about. What really makes Watts College distinctive is that we take as our mission to address the biggest challenges in our community. The project that caught Zylan's attention was an effort through one of our research centers called the Center for Child Wellbeing, which has taken on a challenge which doesn't get nearly enough attention, which is the very negative outcomes for children whose parents are incarcerated. And when he heard of this work, it really resonated with Zylan.
The opportunities that were presented to me, if I can present those same opportunities to the next kid, I mean, I think that's, in a sense, what you do it for. That's what I wake up every day and grind hard and know that bigger picture, I know I'm going to impact kids that, weren't presented the same resources that everybody else was. So that's pretty much a big thing for me.
The Zylan Cheatham investment, we hope, is another flag planting the way and saying we can make our community stronger, more prosperous, more vibrant if we simply work together and use that innovative spirit that ASU is so well known for to come up with better answers.
One thing about a community, the more educated, the more prepared students are for the next level, for the real world, it's only going to benefit us in every way.
Zylan Cheatham's a hometown hero. He's everything you want him to be on the court, and he's everything you want him to be off the court. He shows what it means to grow up in a neighborhood, go on and do great things, and never forget where you came from, and using his own success to help others follow behind him. Couldn't be more proud to be working with Zylan and to call ourselves fellow Sun Devils.
I want to be the best Zylan Cheatham I can be, and I expect every kid that I impact to want to be the best them they can be.
When you build a village, it takes an unyielding river of people to find the current, to follow the flow together, to till the mill. It takes a band of brothers, sometimes even mothers, not oddly enough, from the outskirts of Apache Boulevard to cross the strip, to cut the grass, to set the lights. While we shuttle along, chasing the imagination, it takes the passion of a cipher, a circle of maroon and gold vagabonds to make infinite curiosity worth pursuing here. It takes a spool of fearless leaders to spin old ideas in a new direction, to open doors for the ones left behind on the outskirts of Apache Boulevard, to now be the tribe who leads us forward, as they should. I've always felt that the goal line at the end of Sun Devil Field was that very peak, where the sharp edge of a trident is the cliff we can all jump from, where we can fall up in celebration of higher learning together. where we can blend the beauty and the brains, the athletes and the architects, where the music rooms in the buildings shaped like birthday cakes can leave their windows agape, enough to attract the synchronized swimmers walking by to listen in and discover a new rhythm to their breath. When I visit the city of ASU, I don't see classrooms or buildings scattered to and fro. I see an invisible line of tunnels connecting the hunger for knowledge to the passion of finding one's purpose. Electric scooters and one-wheelers flying by. I look at this wild western town in the middle of the desert through the eyes of the immigrants who were once natives here, and know that there is a place for them, for their children, if only we could reach back and give them back their keys, help them help us change the narrative back to the folio of their First Nation. We have just witnessed that this is a place where the numbers count, where the counties stretch far across democracy, that this is a place where giving an artist a space to call home changed his world, where the aliens will one day fall from the sky, where the gift is in the giving, where even sun devils wear halos sometimes.
With the generosity of the MasterCard Foundation, ASU will support 270 scholars from Africa by the year 2022. These gifted young leaders seek to lead change and make a positive social impact in their communities. We are pleased to introduce to you 3 shining examples.
Hi, my name is Molif Chaplain, and I am currently a master's in computer science graduate student. I am from the great country of Zimbabwe. Today I'm talking to Ella and Benjamin, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Ella. I graduated from Arizona State University in May, and I'm currently a PhD student at the University of Rochester, studying biomedical engineering.
Now I'm Benjamin Obeng, and like Emmanuel, I'm from Ghana, and I graduated from Arizona State University in 2019 with a master's degree in mechanical engineering.
Well, for me, the program was like a key. You know that feeling of standing in front of 2 very large medieval doors, knowing that beyond that door lies whatever opportunity you've dreamt about, whatever you have envisioned, but you just can't budge the doors. And the MasterCard Foundation scholarship was that key. It literally opened the doors for me to opportunities, to places I never knew I could be. And it gave me a chance to interact with like-minded people from across the world. And if we're going to make change, I feel that is and has been a very important step.
Yeah, me too. So for me, I did like most of my undergrad in Ghana, and like for the first 3 years that I was in Ghana, biomedical engineering was like a very new program. So most of the courses we're doing were borrowed courses from electrical engineering and computer engineering. And I felt like I needed more exposure than that. Like by winning this scholarship, I was able to come to ASU. It was really a life-changing thing that happened to me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. For me, coming to the US to further my education was a big deal. My dad is a farmer and my mom a trader, and so it was a huge turning point, not only in my life but in the life of my entire family. Coming to ASU, and for that matter to America, was like a kid in a candy store. I was surrounded by a lot of opportunities, and I was exposed to a lot of things, and most of these opportunities that I picked and skills that I picked up along the way have moved on to shape my path.
Best part for me was my time in the NICA lab that was focused on treating brain cancer. And through that, I was able to learn so many new skills, how to make microfluidic devices. I had never even heard of the term microfluidic devices before. By seeing all these other people who are so bent on changing the world, applying their leadership skills and stuff. So even though the NICA lab was the best part for me, it was also the hardest part for me. But then the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship was there to like help me at every step of the way. So yeah, that was really fun.
Well, I think for me, being at ASU has has had a multi-faceted impact. But most importantly, I think I learned how to interact with different people from different spaces. Like, you're in a class with Hispanic people. They don't speak English the way you do, but they're smart. You're in a class with Indians. They don't speak English the way you do, but they're smart. So it reminds you of the fact that you are not the center of the world, that you're not the standard, you're part of the standard. And I think that has been really helpful in reminding me that everything matters, but the most important thing, after all is said and done, is people.
Yeah.
Due to their effort and the opportunity that they've given to us, there's an amazing opportunity to actually educate Ghanaians and possibly Africa at large.
Yeah, exactly. It literally changed the entire course of my life. So I'm going to do my best to extend the opportunity I was given in my form of gratitude to other people, making adequate healthcare accessible to all Ghanaians.
Truth is, you can't give what you don't have, and the MasterCard scholarship program is giving us something to give back. It's giving us a fighting chance. It's giving African and underprivileged communities a fighting chance by giving them people who can fight with them and for them. And if there is anything that is close to what the American dream was meant to be, that embodies the idea of starting anyway and becoming great, it's the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program. Because it took all of us from a place where we were just us, and it made us part of a bigger dream, a bigger world. And for that, thank you.
Wow, listening to the MasterCard Foundation scholars talk about their work and their future plans is so inspiring.
They truly are turning their dreams of making the world a better place into a reality, just like many ASU students do.
Hey, Dante, what future reality are you dreaming about?
Ever since ASU gave me the nod to develop and teach a class about African American theater, I knew they viewed me as more than a blank slate to fill. ASU believes I have a lot to give. I like to work in higher education, inspiring others.
I came to ASU because of the W.P. Carey School of Business personal approach. They have a motto: business is personal, and they live up to it by tailoring each student's experience. I can't wait to go out into the business world and create personalized solutions for my clients.
Well, ASU gave me the confidence that I could succeed. The most valuable thing I've learned at ASU is that the door isn't locked for me. I just have to work hard to find a way to open it. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. That's Shakespeare, by the way. ASU unlocked the door for me to start that journey.
Because of your generosity, many more students have the opportunity to become who they are.
Because of your generosity, we write our own futures rather than sticking to a script that others have written for us.
Because of your generosity, we have hope. And that's been hard to come by during this pandemic. We have hope because there are people out there willing to help, to say, hey, I've got you.
Our university has been able to make an amazing impact on many lives. Because donors to campaign ASU 2020 stepped up and said, "We've got you."
Our opportunity for making a difference, our potential is limitless, and it really happens one person at a time.
For me, it's all about education and leadership with an emphasis on using the available technologies to help Africa.
So I want to change the trajectory of decline of Alzheimer's disease and other dementias.
I expect every kid that I impact to want to be the best them they can be.
To excite, motivate, and train the next generation of researchers and practitioners.
We want future generations to be able to translate discovery into impact.
Provide assistance to those students who are in need of financial need in completing their education goals.
Change the lives of the Chapter 35 children now and for generations to come.
Be more inclusive, so we're really, really passionate about that.
Pay it forward. Yes, ma'am, I like that.
I believe we will change the world. So here we are, Campaign 2020. We're celebrating all the things that we've done, hundreds of thousands of donors, billions of dollars of resources, thousands of projects, tens of thousands of students. This has really been a fantastic opportunity where the campaign has allowed us to amplify our charter, our focus on inclusion versus exclusion and the success of our students, our focus on research that benefits the public, and really, really importantly, our focus on taking responsibility for our community. This is really a university of the people, supported by you, supported by those that have been a part of this campaign. That's how we've gotten here. That's how we move the charter forward. That's how we're able to build this new institution as the new American university. The thing that most people don't understand is how important special resources that come in from donor investors really are. They allow us to fund individual students in making progress. They allow us to give special resources to individual faculty members. They create entire faculty chairs, which then change the trajectory of an academic unit. They help us to maintain all of our special initiatives that we have in sustainability and dozens of other directions that we're moving in. And so $2.2+ billion of investment sounds like a huge number. It is a huge number, but the impact is infinitely greater than that. It's infinitely greater in lives changed, trajectory changed, outcomes changed, and we all know what that means. You know, we've got to move forward into this new world, new economy, all these things that we're moving towards. So your investments are very significant, and they have deep impact all the way from the individual to the institution to the community. You know, 2020 has been, as you all know, it's one of those special years, never occurred before. The number 20 and the number 20 together will always mean double complicated, double stress, double worry, everything. Just 2020 is, a really complicated year. ASU and our community has really stepped up to manage the university through the global pandemic, manage the university through the social complexities and economic complexities that we're facing. And I'm so proud to just be a part of an institution that's as adaptable and as flexible and as creative and as innovative as our institution. One of the most exciting things in 2020 that we've come away with is that we're now moving innovatively at the fastest rate we ever have. In teaching and learning systems, we're evolving new full immersion, avatar-driven, virtual reality learning platforms that will change how people learn, the rate that they learn, the depth that they learn, the speed that they learn. I can honestly say right now that we have found pathways to break through this notion of people not being STEM literate, science, technology, engineering, and math. We think we can eliminate that. We think we can get everybody in our society up to a level of STEM literacy. We're working in new ways to organize ourselves. We have the Global Futures Lab, which by 2025 will be one of the most important laboratories on the planet, focused on adaptation, mitigation, and understanding all the complexities of what lies ahead to maintain a sustainable relationship between the planet and ourselves as a species. We've got fantastic new schools, new programs, new initiatives, and then you sit back and you say, well, I guess we need to rest. Well, there's no rest. There's only where we move to next. We already have emerged as America's most innovative university, but we're well positioned by 2025 to be a completely new breed of university, impacting Arizona and all of its future, America and all of its future, and also engaged on a global basis. We're already seeing all of this, and so ASU, through your investments, ASU, through your commitment, ASU, through you matching up with our team of students and staff and faculty and all the people that we have here making things move forward, we are a means to that. We are a means to the realization of all the things that our country stands for, all the things that we're trying to achieve, and that's what we're deeply dedicated to. So again, just thank you. Thank you for enabling us to be able to actually implement a vision, enabling us to actually be a part of laying down the foundation for the future. And together, our potential is limitless. There's nothing that we can't do, nothing that we can't achieve, and you all have been a part of helping to make that happen. Thanks.
The human brain is the most complicated object in the known universe. It's more complicated than the working of a star. It's more complicated than solar systems. It's more complicated than the objects in galaxies. I have a dream. I can't imagine that nature, whatever you believe, nature or the Creator, put that thing between your two ears so that you would use some tiny percentage of it. I can't believe that that's the case. The notion of education being for a few people, that's absurd. That is literally absurd. our why, our reason for existence, is to construct the public university which is serving the success of the democracy, the success of the people and their families directly, with intent, with purpose, with differentiation, with responsibility, with measurement, with creativity, with all the things that we can bring to bear. That's what this is about.
If you think about the audaciousness of that an institution says it's going to take fundamental responsibility for society, for someone like me, I want to be part of that.
Every single one of us is a one of a kind. We exist on Earth for this brief period of time, and that one unique opportunity that you have cannot be wasted. It needs to be maximized to its fullest extent.
What does it mean for us to be able to say, we have something for you, specifically for you and for the 6 other people in your small town? I think that's one of the things that gets missed, is the fact that we can reach 10 million people or we can reach 10 people. And all of them get the same kind of engagement from us and the same kinds of commitments to say, we want to help you create a future of your own making.
Access and excellence. We need to give access. We need to create inclusive communities, but it's because that's going to make us all more excellent in our sciences and in our ability to use our scientific knowledge to solve grand challenges.
The dual pursuit of access and excellence is not just operationally expedient, it's not just economically expedient, it's not just fiscally expedient, it's morally expedient. It's the path to a meaningful social progress for this country and for the world.
To take an institution and reorient it to a social impact is something that is what universities should be about, but we've forgotten about.
I think we're at a time where higher ed has to transform. We have to. We can't keep going with our old ways. And I think that ASU is incredibly well positioned to make that change as we lean into the future.
We have to take on responsibility. So this notion of taking on responsibility is really, really important.
We have to change the world now. We have to change it now. We cannot wait. And ASU is the place that says, you have to change it now. What do you need to take it to the next level?
It is important that we have models. It is important that young people look and say, oh, I belong there. So that gives me great joy and the responsibility of knowing that it's my shoulders they're going to stand on. I often tell them, I'm just holding the space for you. I am holding the space for you. And when you're ready, I'll be ready to go.
I felt like I was bringing my personality and my value to this school, and I felt like I was a part of something that was going to be really big.
My voice has been something that I have discovered within the years, and it's something that I will forever be grateful.
What you can achieve here is limited only by your imagination.
It's a really unique situation to be here at ASU. It's like being in the front seat of the educational revolution.
What we learn here has a potential to influence the entire globe and humans living everywhere.
What would make me happiest would be that the cultural changes are so dramatic that the institution continues to design and redesign and morph its design going forward and becomes this truly adaptive institution, really working on social outcomes rather than working on individual university or individual faculty outcomes. What drives me is this notion of the individual human and the individual human mind being able to become this powerful force. You know, we've dreamt about this in art and literature and culture for thousands of years, and we're just now to the point where I'm 100% convinced that we can make it happen.